Konsta Helenius is flying under the radar a bit to start the season. It's weird because he's ranked high by many outlets and scoring a lot in Liga as a 17-year-old. Usually we see a wave of hype behind a prospect like this, but it hasn't happened for him yet. In a way, it's pretty fitting because Helenius is not flashy as a prospect. He has some skill, but he's mostly really good at the details of the game. He has the two-way game, the transition game, and even a physical edge on the walls of the offensive zone. He plays like a pro already. You should keep an eye on Helenius if your team is heading toward the top pick at the 2024 draft. In this video, we're going to break some of his most interesting shifts of his best games of the season so far to better understand his strengths, weaknesses, and his projection. I always find Liga hockey interesting because of these kinds of breakouts. There's no real forechecking pressure, but the burden is entirely on the attacking team to find a way through the defense. And Helenius does break through here with a really nice fake pass and a dangle in between two defenders. And you can already see his details and anticipation at work here. He understands he has pressure on himself, so he doesn't touch this puck. He lets it slide past him, toward his teammate. He comes back in the middle of the slot. He's open here, but his teammate doesn't see him. The puck goes down the wall. He protects it by pushing back against the defender and attempts a pretty creative slot pass with his backhand. And now we get to see Helenius play without the puck defensively. It's a forecheck. He's not over-aggressive. He keeps some space between him and the opposition in case there's a turnover, and he plays the F3 position well overall. And then he makes a great pick play to create some space for his teammate carrying the puck. These pick plays happen in the offensive zone, but they're usually almost accidental. They happen in the flow of the play. Helenius' pick here wasn't accidental. He saw his teammate coming, and he went out of his way to create space for him. Already in this first shift, we saw some of his strengths. His anticipation, his off-puck game, and the way he moves to support the play. What I want to highlight with this video is also Helenius' physical game. He does have techniques to win pucks on the board, and he's not afraid to absorb contact to make plays. Here's an example. This is a retrieval situation. He goes straight for the puck, slips in front of the defender, and leans against him to take possession and protect it. He places the puck inside space, bounces off the board, makes a skate fake, separates, and shoots. Helenius is not that explosive or big, but he fights for the puck. There, he takes it inside after a hit. Maybe he could have made that pass to his defenseman for a better shooting look. But he goes right back to work possessing the puck on the cycle after, making a kind of reverse hit against the opponent, turning away and getting the puck to his teammate. Helenius' creativity and skills don't show up every shift, but what's constant is his work ethic. He's playing against much older opponents and still finding ways to win battles effectively. We see his motor early in this shift again. His team recovers the puck and they send it up to him for a 2-on-1. He fakes a pass, the defender goes down, and Helenius pulls off a great feed across. The other team breaks out and he's once again on the back check. This is a good example of defense transforming into offense. Because he skates ahead of his check, he's once again in a good spot to support the next rush. The puck circles around the zone and he gets a shot chance from the slot. I like this power play shift. This was one of the first games I watched of him this season, and I was really looking forward to seeing more flashes of skill from him at the Liga level than last year, and he delivers on this power play. His teammate exchanged the puck on the wall, Helenius gets it back, he fakes and freezes the defender again. There's a shot, the puck bounces to the corner, and that's a very aggressive and clever sequence. Instead of taking the puck immediately, he shifts away from it and lets it come to him. He forces the defender to turn his feet toward him, which gives him the space he needs to cut the other way and escape. He takes contact here, but like we saw previously, he manages to squeak away. By now, the power play has ended. There are 5 defenders on the ice. But he still spots a small lane to the slot, and he takes it. He manages to get to the goalie with a few stick-handling moves. In these first shifts, we saw Helenius' ability to position on the ice, his motor, the way he can play off contact, and his playmaking skills. These 4 things are the pillars of his game, but there are more details to uncover. This is a game in October, about the time where Helenius started scoring more often. There's a face-off and then a forecheck. He replaces his defenseman as he pinches, and then Helenius goes deep in the offensive zone to get a pass. But the play turns into a wild battle and the puck is lost. Helenius doesn't give up. He pressures the opposing breakout, he steals it and escapes toward the wall before attacking back inside. That's another nice skill move to get a shot from the slot. He presents the puck, baits the poke check, and shifts around the defender. But once again, the last move only happened because he first managed to make a timely interception on the forecheck. Here, Helenius arrives in the D zone and takes the center spot. His team's breakout fails, and he tries to intervene, but he misses the puck. Still, he finishes his check again and knocks the opponent down. There's a second breakout, Helenius skates up, but he slows down to remain an option for his puck-carrying teammate. He hooks the pass under a stick to his teammate, who unfortunately mishandles the reception. In the offensive zone, Helenius' teams plays a sort of 2-3 formation. They use the space at the top of the zone, and Helenius has to remain high in forechecking situations like this. His positioning enables him to act on this puck. He steals it and creates a 2-on-1. The pass doesn't get through, but once again, he gets it back. He protects it with his free arm and escapes his check and then sends a pass flying to the net. Unfortunately, again, the same teammate mishandles the reception. Helenius won't have as much space at the NHL level. It won't be as easy for him to escape defenders, but his good physical habits will serve him decently well in the top league to still make plays off the wall. This is another power play shift, and Helenius once again makes a good few plays under defensive pressure, like this pass with a defender on his back. These plays are projectable to the NHL. He keeps his feet moving inside contact, he sees the outlet, and has the passing skills to connect with his teammates. He's also showing some stick handling ability and feints to keep defenders guessing on his next choice of play. He's trying to feed a pass across, but his teammates aren't necessarily on the same page, so he has to adapt. He moves the puck high, gets it back, and finally across. Helenius has some great moments. He makes another fake change of direction here to get the puck off the wall, and I like that he goes a step further to ensure the success of this pass here. He slides the puck to his teammate, but also blocks the path of the defender slightly to slow him down and buy more time for his teammate. That's the kind of clever plays that we see quite often in this game. And he ends the sequence with another great play to number 20. He fakes a shot, freezes the defender, skates around, and gets the puck in just the right spot, but the shot comes a bit late, unfortunately. I do have to balance the highlights, because there are some limitations in Helenius' game. He's not the most dynamic or explosive or the biggest forward, so even if he has some tricks on the walls and great habits to handle contact, some defenders will manage to push him off the puck in the NHL. There's a good level of skill in his game, so he will figure out how to get out of pressure and make plays through it. But we're still trying to figure out if his abilities are high-end, or as good as the very top forwards in the draft, or if those abilities are a level below those top forwards. This is a really good play. He takes the puck off the wall and attacks inside. He freezes the defender and tries to shoot through, but the shot gets deflected. And here we see another protection sequence where he drags the defender on his back, turns and tries to make a play. The goal when scouting is not just to watch those sequences and appreciate them, but also to project. Those plays were great, but also not that difficult for Helenius. There's a lot of space for him to cut inside here. He makes the play, but doesn't really manage to beat the stick of the defender after. And this is a great protection sequence. He turns at the right time, after creating a pocket of space and as the defender imbalances himself, but elite playmakers can make that next play after. I think Helenius sees the play, or at least one of his teammates open, but the execution is not fully there. This is nitpicking, but those things matter when we're trying to separate the players at the top of a draft class. I want to end this video with my favorite play of his this season. It's a sequence that shows many of his qualities again. There's a rush up ice, Helenius gets the puck, he catches it inside crossover for a speed boost, gets the inside lane on the defenseman, and he shoots on net. He battles for his rebound, but he rapidly gets outnumbered by the opposition, and he loses possession. Still, a couple of seconds later, he gets rewarded for his effort as an opponent fumbles the puck below the goal line. It gives him a chance to make a play. These small area protecting and passing plays will probably become a trademark of Helenius' game at the NHL level. We always try to be conservative when projecting players, but with him, it's pretty clear that he will play in the league. His defensive game is very advanced for his age, and he has the motor and the physical techniques already to hold his own in the league. And he's showing some playmaking skills too. Now, it's just a matter of finding his upside. It would be easier to project him to a top 6 center role if he showed just a bit more dynamic abilities on the ice. If he added just a bit more speed and pulled off some of the more difficult plays and passes more often. If he does show more skill at the World Juniors and in the second half of the season, he could very well climb as high as our top 5. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. You can also check out epringstat.com for more prospect analysis. We released a great stats breakdown of Helenius' game a few weeks ago, if you want to know more about him.